Welcome to Golden Bachelor. If you love celebrity news and real entertainment updates, you're in the right place. Love stories don't always end the way people expect, and sometimes the most unforgettable moments happen in the most unexpected places. Taylor Frankie Paul's journey as the Bachelorette was never ordinary. From the very beginning, it was clear she wasn't there to play it safe. She wasn't chasing a fairy tale built on tradition alone. She was searching for something real, something honest, something that felt right even if it surprised everyone watching. Week after week, emotions ran high, connections deepened, doubts surfaced, and with every rose handed out, the pressure grew heavier. Taylor carried not just her own heart, but the hopes, expectations, and emotions of everyone involved. As the final moment approached, fans assumed they knew how it would look. A dramatic setting, perfect lighting, a familiar ending. But Taylor had other plans. Instead of following the usual path, she chose something bold, something personal, something that instantly set the internet on fire. The final rose ceremony wasn't about impressing anyone, it was about meaning, and that's exactly why it went viral. When Taylor stepped into that unexpected place, there was no crowd noise, no distractions, just emotion hanging thick in the air. The kind of emotion you can't rehearse, the kind that makes even confident people take a deep breath before speaking. She looked calm, but her eyes told a different story. This was real. The men standing before her felt it too. Jokes had faded. Smiles were softer now. Even nervous laughter carried weight because everyone knew this was the moment that would change everything. Taylor didn't rush. She took her time. She reflected. She allowed herself to feel every emotion she had tried to manage all season. There was humor, too, because that's who Taylor is. She cracked a small joke, easing the tension just enough to remind everyone that love doesn't have to be stiff or overly dramatic to be meaningful. That moment made people smile, because it was her. As she spoke, her words weren't flashy, they weren't scripted, they were thoughtful, honest, and deeply personal. She spoke about growth, about lessons learned, about how love surprised her when she least expected it. She admitted that this journey challenged her more than she ever imagined, but also showed her what she truly deserved. And then came the pause, that quiet, breath-holding pause where everything feels suspended. The final rose rested in her hands, not just a symbol of choice, but of courage. When she lifted her eyes and said his name, the reaction was immediate. Shock for some, joy for others, and for Taylor, a sense of relief that was impossible to hide. The smile that followed wasn't forced, it was genuine, the kind of smile that says, "This feels right." The man she chose looked stunned at first, then emotional. He laughed, trying to process what had just happened, then stepped forward with confidence that came not from winning, but from being chosen for who he truly was. Their exchange wasn't loud, it was intimate. They talked, they laughed. There were tears, but the happy kind, the kind that come from release, not regret. And just like that, the season ended, not with chaos, but with connection. Fans couldn't stop talking. Social media exploded with reactions. Some praised Taylor's bold decision. Others debated the unexpected location. Many admitted they hadn't seen it coming, but respected it anyway. Because whether people agreed or not, one thing was undeniable. This final rose felt real. It wasn't about tradition. It wasn't about approval. It was about choosing love on her own terms. Taylor's journey reminded viewers that romance doesn't have to look perfect to be meaningful. It just has to be honest. And that's why this moment stayed with people. It made them laugh. It made them emotional.
Most of
it
all,
made them
it
talk.
made them believe, just a little, that love can still surprise us when we let it. If this story made you smile, raised your eyebrows, or reminded you why love stories matter, then you're not alone. Stay connected for more unforgettable moments, because sometimes the most viral endings are the ones that come straight from the heart. After the final rose was given, the moment didn't end, it evolved. The cameras may have captured the smiles and the reactions, but what followed felt even more powerful. Taylor stood there, holding her breath for just a second, as if letting herself finally believe what had just happened. For the first time in a long while, she wasn't weighing options. She had made her choice. There was laughter almost immediately, nervous, relieved laughter, the kind that happens when tension melts away. Taylor joked that she could finally stop overthinking every little detail, and he laughed right along with her, admitting that he'd been holding his breath too. That laughter mattered, because it showed how comfortable they already were with each other. As they walked together, side by side, there was no rush, no need to perform, just two people processing a life-changing moment in real time. Taylor reflected out loud about how unexpected this ending felt. She admitted she never imagined the journey would lead her here, to this place, with this person, feeling this calm. He listened carefully, not interrupting, not rushing to reassure her, just listening. That's when Taylor realized something important. This wasn't just romance, it was partnership. They talked about how the journey tested them, about moments of doubt, jealousy, and fear, about how choosing love meant choosing vulnerability, even when the outcome wasn't guaranteed. Taylor laughed as she admitted she'd tried to stay guarded, only to fail completely, and he teased her gently, saying that might have been his favorite part. Their chemistry felt natural, not forced, not overly dramatic, the kind that grows from shared understanding rather than constant excitement. Fans noticed that too. Clips from the ceremony continued to spread, not because of shock alone, but because of authenticity. Viewers commented on how different this ending felt, less polished, more human. Taylor didn't pretend everything would be perfect. She acknowledged the challenges ahead, real life, real schedules, real emotions, and instead of making big promises, she chose honesty. She said she wanted to keep choosing him every day, not just in that moment. That quiet promise meant more than any dramatic declaration. As the conversation continued, there were playful moments too. Taylor joked about how unconventional her ending was, wondering if she'd officially broken the rules. He laughed and said rules were clearly optional when it came to her. That humor brought them even closer, because love doesn't survive on seriousness alone, it needs laughter. Later, as they reflected on the journey, Taylor shared how much she had grown, how she learned to trust herself again, how she realized love doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. She admitted she was proud of herself for choosing what felt right instead of what looked right, and that choice inspired people. Fans shared how her story gave them courage to make bold decisions in their own lives, to stop waiting for perfect conditions, to trust their instincts. That's when it became clear. This wasn't just a final rose, it was a reminder that love doesn't follow a script, that happiness doesn't need permission, that sometimes the most unexpected endings are the most meaningful. As the moment faded into memory, one thing remained undeniable. Taylor didn't just end a season, she started a new chapter. And while the future remained unwritten, it began with honesty, laughter, and the courage to choose differently. If this ending surprised you, made you smile, or reminded you why love stories still matter, stay connected, because the most interesting journeys don't end at the final rose, they begin there. Thanks for watching Golden Bachelor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next big story.